Here it is, everyone. We have finally begun the final battle in Akame got killed. We are at the pinnacle part of it right now. The final part before we get to see everything come to an end. And I've got to say, what a way to send off this final arc as well, when we get a badass front cover, badass color page, and a pretty terrifying S-Death. Oh yes, people, let's talk about the amazingness that is S-Death's army. Honestly now, I feel like, apart from, Akame now coming to an end with everything and all that, I feel a little bit more, I'd like to say more at peace now with the series, saying, you know what, I'm more content with it than, what I was, a year ago when I heard that it was ending. I was like, oh, I feel like an absolute piece of shit. Now, for where it's going and all that, I feel a lot more, I'm not happy, and if it ends up bad or good, I think I'll be either way kind of happy with it, end off. And we get some really cool ass color pages from this one. We get to see a really nice one from the gender, and also as well Tatsumi in the fucking just chilling, having the smoke, and then you get to see Akame swimming, and you get this really cool one of all four of them together. And I thought that's a cool one. And for what we saw much of Tatsumi's group through this chapter, we didn't get to see too much of real interest in there. We kind of talked about their plans and kind of talked about their little final things, what they wanted to say. Akame having a little bit of worry. She also felt a little bad. It's all the people that we've lost through 67 chapters ever since the series has started, the amount of people that we've lost on this side, on their side. Shele, Bula, Chelsea, Sue, Labak, Mine, all of them. We lost all of those motherfuckers, and it just kind of reminded me when I did that little tribute thing for the last episode of the anime, and I showed everyone in the series and saying, goodbye to them. It's that's kind of how it feels now, honestly, going through this chapter, and just seeing everyone disappear for one last time with Mine and all them, and it's just yeah, that's all gonna be that's all over and done with. And just to see what their plan is, that what Akame really wants to do is that they all want to go on a ship, they want to go on a new journey. It's really nice. You get to see Tatsumi and Mine running, you get to see Kurome and Wave all there going to place. It would be cool if they actually went back to Wave's homeland or something, saying, hey, we'll go here. And that's honestly the dream. We know though that isn't going to be happening though. We can already see, and I can definitely see what is going to be happening, because this is where I've got to talk about the slightest weakest part of the chapter, which is when they started talking about the whole little chancellor, the little president, saying oh, by the way, is that weapon ready? And it definitely feels what they're going to be doing with the anime is that they're going to be what they did as well with the series. They're going to be bringing out that giant mech Teigu, I imagine, the ultimate Teigu. And I have a feeling that's kind of what they're going to be going with. I hope it isn't exactly verbatim exactly how it is, because there was some really interesting stuff with S-Death in this chapter that I absolutely adored from it. But it's I can definitely tell if Mine wakes up, I have Tatsumi isn't going to be making it out of this. Tatsumi is definitely going to die in this one, and that was kind of it was kind of the manga's saying this is your last time to kind of see these characters interact with each other and enjoy each other, because we ain't gonna be seeing Tatsumi get out of this. I feel he isn't gonna get out of this at all. We're gonna be having that awesome Akame versus Death fight we had in the anime, Wave, and especially while going over Kurome as they're hiding out in the mountains. There's something in the presence there that are attacking them. Now the question is, what exactly is that? Is that S-Death's warriors that she's got, which I'll get into more later, or is that just some real fucked up monsters or something, or did chance I sent out I found out who they are, or are they just some danger beasts that we don't know? So I'm not too sure about exactly what's the happy ending between them. Are they going to get out of that? But I'm kind of curious, because I honestly felt after the whole Kurome stuff that they would just be out of the pictures. So it's nice that they're keeping them in the story. But yeah, there's a lot of shaky shit going with that. And honestly, with the whole Chancellor, everyone's wanting to fucking betray him. They're oh, Minister, oh, we were just talking about that since then. No, you guys are ready to fucking hand his fucking ass on a platter and just getting rid of that piece of shit. And that, they've still got a trump card, and this is the most deadliest one of all, and the spies managed to see it. It's fucking what S-Death can do. She has created 10,000, ice warriors. She, that's the thing, and, when we got announced, is, the most scary thing about her powers and all that is, it's such a simple, she does ice. That's the simplicity of it. It's just an ice magic. But the way that she manipulates it and the way that she's able to work around it and just the sheer, like, amount of stuff she can do with this, like, she's no, like, there's no joke that she is an utter genius. Like, she is an utter, like, war genius that she's now gotten to this point of her powers where she's, like, able to, like, do stuff like flying, where she's able to, like, make stuff like this, like soldiers and armies that, the country would have been in trouble with. And that's honestly scary. And it's like, well, this even more shows, like, with the battle, if the battle's going to get it down, like, the only people that can actually take down her herself, like, with their death, is, honestly, it has to be Tatsumi, like, it has to be, like, Akame, it has to be, like, maybe Leone as well might have to get involved in that, like, they're the only one, like, Nagenda, she's going to have to be leading this stuff, like, with the arm and all that, because she can't exactly do too much. She lost Susanoo, so she's completely out of this picture, and even Leone, we saw what happened when she tried to go toe-to-toe again, and she tried cutting off her boob and her arms and shit like that, and started torturing, so the only people that could go against her are people like that, and the whole reason's, like, to go against that freezing time power as well. Tatsumi's going to have to transform. He's going to have to transform to even take that on, so that's honestly how I'm going to see the end, and whether or not it's going to, like, that's honestly, he's going to probably use his last one, probably help take down, like the whole thing with S-Death, but if we see the secret weapon, he's going to have to transform again and take it down, and we're going to be seeing something like exactly in the anime, and although, like, a lot of people around where you say that's going to be very predictable as fuck, that's going to be happening. Don't forget, exactly, with anime-only endings as well, with anything with, like, Blue Exorcist, with Claymore, with any of them, like, a lot of the time they give them some words saying, this is kind of where I want to take the story, and we've heard many times throughout the story, this is what I want to do with it. These probably characters are going to be dying in this order. We probably will see Leone die. We probably might see, like, Nagenda and Akame live. We probably will see Tatsumi die. We probably will see S-Death as well, like, die, but the question is about, like, Kurome and Wave, because if I remember, like, Wave survived it, and also as well, it was like, I'm kind of curious, like, who else survived. I know there was, like, other people, like, I know Kurome didn't survive it, so we could potentially see Kurome, like, sacrifice her life the way, like, I hope it doesn't go on that way, but we'll honestly have to wait and see. But it's like, the secret weapon, that was a little bit where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see where that's exactly going with that, although the Ice Warriors and just the amount of sheer craziness that is S-Death's, like, just powers, and even her reminiscing about, like, all the fun times that she had with the Jaegers, I did enjoy that. So, like, she's not a complete nut psychopath that might people, like, make her out to believe. Like, she actually does treasure things, and it's like, that's one of the things I like, that she treasured every moment with, like, her comrades of the Jaegers, and she enjoyed all the time she spent with, and that was a really nice part of the chapter. And just, well, the war fucking begins, and I cannot wait for the next chapter, honestly. It was a very decent chapter. Give it a 7.5 out of 10. I did enjoy it, although, like, the whole big secret trump card, I'm like, okay, like, I have a feeling it's going to be that giant mech again that we saw from last time. I hope it isn't the giant fucking mech, because that was, even still to the ending, I always thought that was the most silliest fucking thing. Like, let's just pull out this Gundam out of nowhere. This is the ultimate Teigu, but then again, like, the ending of, like, the anime, some people, like, butcher saying it was terrible. I enjoyed it. Like, that Akame versus S-Death fight was fantastic, so I cannot wait if they're going to do something even better than that. Like, I really hope that these guys have something up the sleeve, and I'm very curious, like, are they going to be doing another work after this, or is this just going to be their final way of saying, like, we did this for a couple of years, it kind of flopped a bit, maybe we might do weekly, maybe we might go back to monthly, or maybe we might just call it quits. We'll have to wait and see. That's honestly all from me, so thank you much for watching as always, and I will catch you guys next time.